What's up everyone? So today is our last day in Indo. We've been here for 28 days and our visa ends in 30 days. We only got the 30-day visa upon arrival. And your only two options is to either go to Bali and extend it, which takes about a week from what we've heard, or you can fly to Malaysia, another country, and then fly back same day and get a new visa. Ryan and Robbie are staying. They're going to get a NIAS. Ryan has the same situation where we have to leave in 2 days to either go home or go out of the country and come back. So he's going to fly to Malaysia, and I am going home back to Portugal. But right now we're just filming at our last session for the trip, and then I'm gonna take you guys along with the adventure tonight. So it's gonna be an exciting day, exciting next 48 hours, so I'll take you guys along the journey. Right now we're filming, conditions are perfect. Front lit from the sun behind me, no clouds in the sky, blue skies, so pretty much I put my settings the way they are and nothing is changing. 4K at 60 frames per second, a shutter degree of 90 degrees, so that is the equivalent of 1 2/40 of a second for shutter speed. f7.6 is my aperture, ISO 250, and I have 2 stops of ND just because of how bright it is. And then I'm also shooting at like 300 millimeters, kind of back, and a little bit further away, that's why I'm shooting pretty tight. But yeah, we're gonna be here for probably 2.5 hours, and then just head back and start packing, and then eat, say our goodbyes, and then get ready to leave. Just film for like 3 hours or so. Going to go get some lunch, and then gonna go start to pack, get everything ready, and then we're out of here in 6 hours. Nice sunset tonight. We're actually leaving now at 8:30, and yeah, it's gonna be 11 hours to the ferry, and then once we get on the ferry, it's another hour and a half to 2 hours, and then a 25 to 30 minute what in the world? There's a cow. We stayed at Lakey Surf House. Pretty nice. And that was our view of Lakey, and then there's a cat. Well, what a craziness this is. I'll tell you guys the story later, but we're going with a totally separate people, because the first guy did something totally illegal, so now they're charging us $6 million, which is $1.5 million off. So yeah.
He like, I walked down there like, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's okay, trust me, I leave. And I walked down there like, so you go to Lombok? Well, I was like, huh? I don't know where I'm going. This was organized by the guy at the house in the taxi. Like, they just said we'd get to where we needed to go. He's like, there's like 8 dudes sitting around the taxi like, well, bus no run at this hour. Like he had already taken off in the car. So, so they said that they would charge us $6 million, which is I had to pay him anyway. So he was going to charge us more than they're charging us. But they were trying to tell me that like if we went to the bus station and we got in the car with someone else, that the police would come and take us to jail. And then
Were they pissed at you?
No.
Yeah.
Does that like what just happened, like the scamming, does that happen a lot? Yeah.
I'm sorry, brother. No, slowly English.
Oh, okay. No worries, no worries. So we've been upstairs on the ferry, and now we're just waiting to go. Snacks, Ryan. We got like a 3-hour ferry ride. And it's 4:31, so hopefully we'll get there by 7:30 or around 8 or 7:30, and then continue our ride. We're leaving the ferry port now. Those guys are sleeping down there. That's our car and the cop car. We've been driving or riding, I guess, for an hour and 10 minutes, and we're almost to Lombok. But we have another 3 hours until we get to the other side of the island where we can take a ferry. But we arrived to Lombok, 100 kilometers away from Denpensar. Our driver's claiming we'll be there by 8. And now we're leaving. What do you think, Ryan? We'll be there by 8?
About 7:30.
I don't know how you think we're gonna go.
I slapped my head on this on the way up.
Oh, tall people. I got the feel of it. He's claiming we're gonna go 100 kilometers an hour all the way there. So right now it's 6:54. So an hour. So it'll be interesting to see. We finally made the Denpensar, whatever this place is called. It's been a fucking long ass day. It's 10:09, so we're at like 9-hour mission so far. Our ferry comes in an hour and a half. So we're about to get on the ferry that's over there. There's a ferry station. And they told us to come over here, so we're not really sure what's happening, but got all our stuff. Ryan's got his board bags. So they're paying the harbor tax. And then we get to take our ferry. But the harbor tax I think is 10,000. Hi, sir.
Just getting started.
We're finally moving on the ferry. It's 1 o'clock. And supposedly only going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours, so we'll see. But we heard it took 3.5 hours before. So we're stoked. Then we had to take an hour and a half taxi ride through traffic in Bali. He's over it. I want to go home. Currently on the back of the ferry. This is what it looks like. At the Lombok. Finally at the ferry and Ryan's getting his bags. Got our stuff. Taxi guy. And we're in Padang Ball. Finally in Bali.
Rian.
It's 3 p.m. after 17 hours from Lakey Peak to Bali. Yep. And now we still have an hour and a half.
6 to go.
Yeah. Now we have an hour and a half drive to our hotel, and then he's going straight to and Ryan's flying straight to Malaysia. He's at the hotel for 10 minutes, and I'm at the hotel chilling for a little bit, and then I'm flying to Dubai at midnight. So right now it's 3. Long day. They're selling stuff on the side, trying to get you to buy water and food and all that. But we're all ready to go. We're in Bumblebee from the Transformers right now. And then we have this dude who is some interesting stuff in front. We're finally in Bali. So right now it's 7:18. I just want to go over what happened today. So right now I'm at my hotel. Ryan's leaving for his flight to Malaysia. He left a couple hours ago. His flight takes off at 9 p.m. My flight takes off at midnight. Robbie had to go to Uluwatu to get a new board and also drop off Ryan's boards there. It's been a process for them trying to leave because we literally got to the hotel at 5:15 and they both left by 5:45. What happened today was at the beginning of the whole journey, we originally had a taxi driver that was going to take us to Lombok, to the ferry, drop us off, and then we were going to take a boat across. He was telling us for a few days before, like, make sure if anyone comes up to you and asks you, hey, do you need a taxi ride? Tell them no. We were like, okay, didn't think too much of it, kind of suspicious, but we had our thoughts. Maybe he was just trying to like make sure that he got the job or something. I don't know. After a few days, the day of us getting the taxi, he came up to our room and he told us we might have to do this. So in Lakey Peak, they have an organization of taxis. The organization is who runs the taxis that go through Lakey Peak. It's just what happens at Lakey Peak. Well, he's not part of the organization. So what was happening was they found out the organization somehow knew to come pick us up, even though we never told them anything. We never told anyone anything about us leaving. Somehow everybody found out. So the Lakey Peak organization of taxis came and was there waiting to pick us up. And our guy saw this and he thought about it and he came to tell us, hey, you guys are going to have to go in a taxi with them. Tell them you're going to Denpensar bus station. And then once you get there, you'll take all your stuff off the car, board bags and luggage and all that. They'll leave and then I'll pick you up and then take you to Lombok. Suspicious and dumb, and it didn't really make much sense. So we told him, no, we don't want to do that. And he said, you're going to have to do it, just trust me. And it didn't make any sense because they would see us at Lombok, or they would see us at Denpensar train station, taking our stuff off and then putting our stuff back on a new car. And it's illegal to do that, supposedly. So out of all of that happening, they eventually found out that we were going to Lombok with him. And they told us that they refused to take us to Denpensar bus station because of that. And they also told us that if we went with our original guy, that we would get arrested and go to jail. So with that being said, we had no other choice but to ditch the original guy, because first off, what he was doing was illegal. Second, it was going to cause a major disruption in the taxi politics of Lakey Peak. So we decided just to ditch him. He also took $1.5 million deposit from Ryan and hasn't paid it back yet, and refused to come back and pay the cash back. So Ryan was down $1.5 million, which is like $75-$80 US. So then we got in a taxi with the actual organization, and the actual organization was cheaper than he was. He was charging $7.5 million, and the taxi organization was charging $6 million. So either way, we got in the car at 9:50. We eventually started driving. 6.5 hours of driving to the ferry at whatever the city is on Sumbawa to Lombok. Couldn't sleep at all during the whole taxi ride because literally the roads are like this, and they're going super fast around the corner, slamming on brakes, going like this, like this, like this, like this. So it was a really long night and restless night. We eventually got to the ferry. They told us the ferry would take an hour. It eventually took 2 hours. So then we're 8.5 hours in the trip. Then we get to Lombok and they tell us, oh, we'll be at the ferry by 8 a.m. At this point, it's 6:45 a.m. We don't get to the ferry until 10:05. Our ferry that was taking us to Bali left at 10. So we missed our original ferry that we were supposed to take. So then we had to stay in Lombok for another 2.5 hours to get the next ferry to Bali. And then after that, they also, this was the funny part, they charged us $650,000 a person, which is like $40 or something a person to go across to Bali. Well, we kept hearing from other people after we eventually bought it. Oh yeah, they made us pay $650 for both of us, or oh yeah, one person had to pay $350 for them. So we got scammed a little bit on the price there, which it happens when you go to a third world country, I guess. And then after that, we eventually got on the bus. We eventually got on the ferry with the Padang Ball. We couldn't get a direct to Denpensar, so we went to Padang Ball, got on our taxi, and then the hour-and-a-half ride turned out to be 2 hours and 15 minutes. And we eventually didn't get to our hotel here in Bali until just over 19 hours. So it's been an extremely long day, extremely long journey, but I captured it all and you guys saw it. But I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of what happened today. And what's going to happen now is, everybody's leaving. Ryan and Robbie are going to Nias. Ryan has to fly to Malaysia because his visa expires tomorrow. Mine does too, but I'm leaving to go home. He has to go to Malaysia to fly back to Indonesia to get another 30-day stay visa in Indonesia, because once you leave and come back, you can get a new one. Robbie's flying straight to Nias because he had the 60-day visa. We didn't know about that. It's been a long process, but we're all good. We all made it. We're all chilling. Right now it's 7:26 p.m. in Bali, which is like noon, I think, or something in Lisbon. And then I arrive to Lisbon at 7:40 p.m. Lisbon time tomorrow. So it's going to be a long 24-hour journey for me, but